Hello everybody, welcome back. Just going to make a quick video. I'm away at the moment, but rather than taking that crappy laptop, which I do actually have, I thought I'd bring an even worse computer over. So I think this would be a tiny little bit better than the laptop I normally use, but you can be the judge. Right, so we're going to look at Bitcoin specifically, and only Bitcoin, maybe a bit of dollar as well, since the dollar I think is peaked for the moment, and it's going to start coming back down again. What that does for the rest of the markets, we'll have to wait and see. But I've got a short on the dollar from yesterday. As I said yesterday, it does look like the dollar has reached a peak, but we'll go into that in a minute. So, excuse me, for Bitcoin specifically, we're sitting on a 50 exponential moving average. So it's all part of our daily golden cross. We've got hidden bullish divergence here. It's not much to go by, but it is there, so we might as well look at it. It does exist. Money flow index is relatively low, which again is nothing on its own, but it does exist. But the main thing is that we're finding some support on the 50 exponential, which again is golden cross territory. In the past we've bounced from here. We came a little bit below here before, but continued up. But so it's a little tricky to say that this is it. We're on the 7 simple moving average on the weekly as well. Obviously, we've still got the trend signal in play, but look, various diversions across the board, multiple drives of that. Now, I don't think that this is the end, so I wouldn't get too concerned about that. It's worth recognizing that it's not just Bitcoin that did this, it was everybody. We all did it. Everything moved down as a result. And the S&P on the weekly is sitting at the 7 simple moving average with multiple drives with bearish divergence. And if we move over to the daily, we can have a look at what the daily looks like. It's almost like a carbon copy of Bitcoin, really. Opened with a big gap towards the bottom of the Bollinger Band. Golden cross here, golden cross is down here as well. So plenty of support below us. I know that it's tempting to suggest that it's all going to come down and go to zero from here, but I don't see any reason for that. Bitcoin on the 4-hourly is still trending down, so we are below all moving averages here. The short signal was generated around 117,800, so the short signal has more or less played out, moving down to that major support there on the weekly and on the daily. So that is just a brief overview. Like I say, those supports at the moment have held. Like I said on the Telegram, if you remember in the Telegram, so I'll be looking for to get sort of longs and positions around 114. So we're ever so slightly below that now, but we're still roughly at the support. Remember, 113, 114. It's less than a 1% move. With every 1% up or down for Bitcoin, it's over $1,000 now. So just remember that. What's the difference between 114 and 113,700? It's a fraction of a percent. Right, so moving over to the Dixie. The Dixie has collapsed, not at all, but it's moved down dramatically. And the reason I think it's done this, from a technical base, is that it hit the 21 exponential on the weekly. It's also got fresh death crosses here on the weekly 1 and 2. So we've found natural resistance, one that I expect is going to be the case. And now we're moving back down to supports. Look, I'm not going to say that this is going to keep going down and down and down. I'm on a different account here, by the way, so you don't have all my trend lines. I'll have to pop those in before the stream tomorrow. But I'm sure, I show you the same thing every day, all the time. So we might as well look at something with fresh eyes. Sometimes it's quite useful to do that, look at things with fresh eyes. I've got a long on the pound, by the way, and that's because we've got golden cross, and support on the golden cross. So we're looking for this to bounce in the short term, which is why I've got shorts on the dollar and longs on the pound. I don't think this is going to last for a long time, though. I'll be surprised to see if it makes a higher high on this one. I just thought it was an appropriate place to try a position and see where we go from there. So long story short, I don't really see a problem with anything that's going on right now. It might seem dramatic to a lot of people. We expected a pullback, didn't we? We called it the crypto dump. We're at the test of people who are expecting it to keep going up. I do expect it to keep going up, definitely, but in the short term we've found a pullback, haven't we? The crypto dump that I was referring to. And as a result, we are continuing to consolidate from finding that peak, which, just want to mention one last time, I told you was going to happen. Whoa. Right, there isn't much more to say about this. This is basically it. So the weekend is the weekend. Fear is in the market. Fear and greed actually is still in the 70s, and so there is a chance that we do come back down further. And if we were to do that, we've got the 10 exponential at 110, we've got the 21 roughly around 104, centre of the Bollinger Band around 102 as well. And worst case scenario, we revisit all the way down to the 91s. I don't think that that's where we're going. I honestly don't think that that's the case at all. I think that this market is tied in very much with all other markets. S&P down 1.5%, and it's just a bit of shock in the market. So the problem that you'll find, or the problem that I suppose a lot of people will be seeing, is that they think that this is all isolated just purely to crypto, but it's really not at all. This is all markets responding to the dollar's weakness and strength and weakness. And the problem that crypto had is that it found a natural peak of its own, which is why we said that there's likely to be a dump, which there was. And now the rest of the market is pulling back, and through association, crypto's pulling back even further. So it's nothing crazy, it's just a double whammy. We found a natural top, which we spotted and made the most of, and now we're consolidating further because the S&P decided to pull back as well from its actual all-time high. So there's two things there. Crypto found a peak a week prior, and now stocks have found a peak yesterday. But yeah, long story short, the dollar is still low. The dollar also has found a natural rejection, and I think it'll be business as usual within a couple of weeks. Right, thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.